So I know that you may have heard some type of expert tell you that if you do your weight training after your cardio, it can kind of extend the ability to burn fat into that weight training session, almost like an extension of your cardio fat burning. But in this video, I'm going to help you understand why that's not only not so true, but it could actually cause problems and restrict some people from reaching their goals. Let's jump in.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
Now just know that there are reasons that a lot of people disagree on this topic, because I know that I'm going to hear from somebody in the comments section that says, oh, well, Dr. Ron Parkins Steinman von Reimenhaus-Steen says that you always have to do your weights after your cardio, because if you do it the other order, there's an enzyme that'll make your face explode. And the reality is that we don't all operate the same way. And doing things differently is going to bring about different results from person to person. So there is no one size fits all, but we're going to talk about some generalities about how the human body functions that are going to help you understand the right order to do your different types of exercise. And keep in mind that some people are going to lean more towards burning fat a little bit easier. They're a little more fat adapted, and some people are going to burn carbohydrates a little bit easier, and they're going to have maybe problems burning fat, and some people will have problems burning glucose or carbohydrates. And if you want to dig into understanding where you lie in that little boundary between those two situations, my book Kick Your Fat in the Nuts walks you through how to run simple self-tests at home that can help you figure out if you may be leaning too far on one side, or maybe if you're a little more balanced. And the book is available on Amazon, but I'll put a link in the description below so you can get the whole thing totally for free, and it'll walk you through that process. But today I want to talk in some generalities about when you should be doing your cardio workout compared to your weights or resistance type workouts. And keep in mind that doing a warm-up of 5 to 10 minutes of cardio before you do your weights is probably ideal for most people. So that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I was training people in LA in the gym for 20 years, and I would see people come in and jump on the treadmill and run for 30 or 60 minutes and then walk over and start doing their weights and resistance type workout. So we're not talking about prioritizing different types of workouts according to your goals. If your goal is to be a specific type of champion athlete or to do a marathon or some specific event or sport, then you might prioritize doing cardio over weights workouts just to get better at a skill or to get a better cardio fitness kind of thing going on. We're not really talking about prioritizing. But if your goal is to burn fat by doing cardio, or your goal is to build muscle or become more toned by doing resistance or weight workouts, then there's an order that can really optimize your ability to get the most out of either of these activities. So what we need to understand is that to do cardio exercise, your body has the ability to burn fat for fuel or glycogen for fuel, or glucose. And glycogen is just a stored form of glucose, so we eat carbohydrates and the body will store some of that glucose as glycogen in our liver or in our tissues. And then that becomes like a little storage unit of energy for the body. So the body accesses that glycogen and can use it for fuel. So when we're doing cardio, the body can burn stored fat for fuel, or it can burn this glycogen, or if you were like eating pie as you did cardio, it could burn that glucose for fuel as well. But what we need to understand is that when we're doing weights or resistance types of exercises, the body really needs to use glycogen for fuel or glucose. It's not really going to be able to use stored fat for fuel for that type of exercise. Now, there are people that are very fat adapted and their body is very efficient at burning fat. They may be able to do that when they're doing resistance workouts, but again, these are the outliers. These are not the general people whose bodies are in a balanced state and operating on burning both fat and glucose for fuel. So what we need to understand is that if a person starts out, they're going to jump on the treadmill and do cardio for 30 minutes. Well, the body can use either fat or glycogen during that cardio exercise, but if glycogen is available, the body is pretty much always going to prefer to burn that glycogen before it gets to burning fat. So if a person needs like 30 minutes worth of exercise to burn through that glycogen store before it can access stored fat, Then if they run on the treadmill for 35 minutes, well, they might get 5 minutes of fat burning. So they had to burn through all that glycogen before they could access the stored fat and burn that for fuel. So then they go over to do their weightlifting session when they're done with the treadmill, and the glycogen that the body needs to do that weightlifting resistance type exercise is all burned up. There's nothing left because the person used it to do their cardio exercise. Now, if there's no glycogen available to burn for fuel for that weightlifting session, the body's going to be like, well, I need some glycogen, I need some glucose, what can I do? Oh, I can break down these tissues and turn that into glucose and use it for this weightlifting session. So the person was doing this exercise to try to build muscles, but instead the body is breaking down their muscles to turn it into fuel to complete the process that they're trying to complete by doing that weightlifting. So as an alternative, a person could do a 5-minute warm up on a treadmill, walking or running a little bit to get warmed up, and then do their weightlifting session so there's still glycogen available for the body to use for fuel during that resistance type workout. And then after working out for 45, 55 minutes doing weights, a lot of people will burn up a lot of their glycogen stores, if not all of it that was available. And then after that workout, they could go and walk on the treadmill for 20 or 30 minutes, and the body will be optimized to burn fat during that process since all the glycogen has been burned up. The glycogen's gone, the body's like, oh, well, I'll use this backup source, I'll burn this fat for fuel. The problem is that backup source can't be used in the weightlifting workout, so if we switch the order, now we've optimized both of these workout sessions. And some people might get better benefits just by doing weights on one day and cardio on another. But if you really want to do both together, you can maximize your results by doing the weights first and burning up that glycogen, doing a type of exercise that the body needs to burn the glycogen, and then go over and do cardio when the body is set up to burn fat for fuel so you can burn fat during that cardio session. So this is a really easy fix that anybody can do to really maximize the benefits that they're getting from these different types of workouts. But keep in mind that there's a lot of reasons that somebody might not be able to access stored fat and burn it for fuel. So if you want to see if there's other issues going on that are restricting your ability to drop that fat or build the muscle, jump over and check out our video on 15 reasons you can't lose weight. I can't wait to hear about your results.